Welcome back to Double Down University, and I got a fun little two-pick power of the preseason for the NFL preseason. NFL season is just right around the corner, less than a month away. I thought this would be fun. Two-pick power for you guys. So I have John Mechie over 20.5 receiving yards and Demario Douglas over 26.5 receiving yards. Preseason is a little tricky because you don't know how many reps they're going to get. You don't know how many series they're going to be going out there for. So just be very, very cautious and try to limit your unit size on preseason. I noticed, save up for the real season once it starts. But the one thing about Demario Douglas, I'm going to start off with him, is I've been hearing really, really good things about him. I watched him play last year at Liberty. He's a real fast, explosive, small receiver, but he just gets a lot of yards after the catch. And I think at 26.5, he can cover this pretty much in like 2 catches. And he should be playing with Bailey Zappi, if I'm not mistaken, because I think Mac Jones might not play today. Let's go look at their depth chart. So, actually, it's wrong. It's Texans depth chart. Here we go. So, the Patriots depth chart. So, their top receivers are pretty much not going to play, like the Devontae Parkers of the world, the Juju Smith-Schuster. So, that should open up opportunities for him to have more opportunity. And I think he will pretty much play, if not all of the second half, but majority of the second half as well. If he doesn't play in the first half, he should play if all of the second half. So I think there's really, really good opportunity. I know Matthew Slater, he's pretty much guaranteed a spot because he's a special teams guy. So he's pretty much battling playing time with Trey Nixon and, of course, the young kid Butte from LSU, as well as Thornton. And I've heard that, through New England reporters watching a lot of their podcasts and different like daily training camp videos, is that he's been outperforming Tyquan Thornton. Douglas has. So, this is his opportunity to cement his spot as like the third or fourth receiver on this team. And I think he's going to have to play a lot out of the slot because I think they want Bourne and Juju to play outside, especially Parker too as well. So they need some slot presence. So I think he can provide that with his short area quickness and his ability to have good yards after the catch, run after the catch ability. So I really like him at 26.5. And then moving on to Mechie, he's a really, really good story. The only thing about him is I couldn't really find too much information on him and how well he's doing in camp, based on the fact of his off the field things that he's been dealing with, like he's been diagnosed with leukemia and battled his way back. And that's mostly all you see in articles is about that he's coming back from his battle with leukemia, and not necessarily a lot of training camp stuff of how well he's doing. But one thing I did note, like reading into some of their articles and stuff, is that they're a bit banged up on the offensive line. So I think that with that being said, like I think they're missing their left tackle, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, they're missing their guard, some interior players. So they're missing their guard, one of their guards, and then they're missing Titus Howard, who I think might be out into the regular season. So he should be out, have an extended absence. And what that means to me, or what that tells me, is that they're going to get a lot of short, quick passes to get the ball out of the QB's hands, because there's not going to be much time for him to sit back in the pocket and be able to throw. So I think that Mechie is the perfect guy because he fits the Demario Davis profile. They're pretty much the same player, small players, good at route running, and good at being able to get yards after the catch. So both of them should be able to catch this within 2 catches. If they are able to get more than that, I think they should be able to cover that line in 2 or 3 catches of just them being able to get yards after the catch. So yeah, so that's my quick little breakdown on those two. Like I said, be very, very cautious with preseason, because it can go either way, or they can get subbed out after, they might have showed a couple good catches and then they get subbed out right underneath the line. So these are just the 2 I feel most comfortable with that's on the board. I know recently I was looking at the board last night doing research, and Tank Dell actually been bumped up from like 20, I think he was at 20.5 or something like that. He was around the same as Mechie, but he got bumped up to like 24.5. That's kind of scary because, like I said, they could pull him early because of, he's a higher pick. So, but Mechie, he also has the experience of being there last year. And I read a quote that was really, really cool about Mechie, is that Last year he was taking mental reps. He's with the team. He couldn't really work out, couldn't really go through physically. So now he said, like, in training camp, he's getting feet and hand reps. Just with his being out physically, being out there and being able to go through the work. The passing yards too is a little sketchy. I know this looks super low for C.J. Stroud, but he may just be out there for a series as well. Bailey Zappi, Davis Mills, those are the guys I would kind of target because they're going to be playing majority of the second half or majority of the game after the two starters get taken out. I think Zappi might be starting. I think he might start, and I think Trace McSorley, my guy from Penn State, might be his backup, so he might play majority of the second half. So those are my two. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll go over them one more time. John Mechie over 20.5 receiving yards, and Demario Douglas over 26.5 receiving yards.